This wonderfully written judgment was delivered in British Columbia, Canada, by a judge who clearly felt the charge wasted the court's time. A youth, KAA, had gone onto the grounds of the Mayfair Lakes golf course in the deep of night and had begun diving in the golf course's lake to find lost golf balls. The golf club had an arrangement with a commercial scuba diving company for them to dive the lake on a regular basis, collect the balls and return them to the golf club, which then sold them as second-hand balls. KAA was apprehended and charged with stealing the golf balls from the golf club. An interesting question then arose about the ownership of the balls. KAA could only be said to have stolen the balls from the golf club if the balls belonged to the golf club. KAA argued that if the balls belonged to anyone, they belonged to the players who had hit the balls into the lake and then abandoned them, so they were abandoned property. The golf club argued that in fact, as they owned the lake, they owned everything in the lake. Judge Davis said, "There is no evidence that the balls were, at the time the young person was apprehended, in the possession of the golf course, because the evidence indicates they don't take possession until the scuba divers turn the balls over to them. There were no posted notices. There were no warnings of any kind that affect this young person. Is he a thief? He may be, but he did not steal from the golf club. Did he trespass? He may have, but that is not the charge before me." He did, however, make one exception. There was one single ball with a red stripe, which could be identified as a range ball from the club's driving range. The judge found that this one ball belonged to the club and should be returned to the club. Otherwise, he dismissed the charge against KAA. From this case, we learn two things. First, there is no automatic presumption that the owner of land owns everything on the land, especially if it was left there by someone else. Second, a finder of abandoned goods can assert title over those goods against anyone except the true owner. This judgment is brief but brilliantly written, and I strongly recommend it.